Now we'll start for the chemical properties of the bases, right? So first chemical property is that the reaction of base with acid. As we already did in the acid topic, that whenever the acid react with base, it leads to the formation of salt and water. And what is the name given to this special reaction? Can you recall that? Yes, it is a neutralization reaction because it leads to the production of a neutral substance which is neither acidic nor basic with pH 7. So just look at the board. So we have a base. Suppose the base which I am selecting is NaOH, acid, suppose HCl. So you can take any base, you can take any acid, the reaction is just going to be same, right? So that means I'll just write the valencies here. As I told you in previous lecture, whenever you are doing the chemical reactions, when you are not thorough with the valencies, just write the valencies at the top with the pencil, and after just completing the reaction, just erase it off, right? So as you can see, this positive ion is just going to react with this negative ion. So it will lead to the formation of NaCl, and this HNOH will get to produce H2O. Right, so this is the, you can say the salt is formed, that is NaCl, which has the pH 7. And the name given to this reaction is neutralization reaction, as I told you, because it leads to the formation of a substance which has the pH 7, that means it is neutral in nature. Now just see that how the reaction of base or you can say the reaction, how the base react with metal oxide. Do you know what is the nature of metal oxide? As we previously discussed when we were doing the properties, I told you that metal oxides are basic in nature except the aluminium oxide and the zinc oxides which are amphoteric. Apart from that, all the metal oxides are just basic in nature. So that means the base when react with metal oxide, that means there will be no such reaction is going to take place. So we need to change this term and we will see that how they react with non-metal oxide, right? So as you all know that non-metal oxides are just acidic in nature. So that means we have a base, we have a substance which is acidic in nature. So again the reaction is going to be neutralization reaction because it is going to form a neutral substance with pH 7. So see, suppose the base again what I am taking is NaOH, right, and I am selecting the non-metal oxide, suppose I am selecting as CO2. Right. So then what it is going to form? It is going to form Na2CO3 plus H2O. So sodium carbonate salt will be formed. So just keep in mind, you must be thinking that I haven't wrote any valencies, and on the product side I just directly wrote the carbonate ion. I've just used it, and on the reactant side we don't get to see any kind of carbonate ion. So keep in mind, see, whenever the carbon dioxide gets react with some you can say some of the metal or some other substance, we just crisscross that substance with the carbonate ion, because this carbon dioxide when it react with a certain substance, it gets converted into the carbonate ion. And similarly it happens for the ammonia. When the ammonia react with some other substance, we just crisscross that substance with the ammonium ion. So see, there are few such exceptions we have to keep in mind. So I'll be just telling you step by step where they are needed. So at this moment just keep in mind that when you are reacting CO2 with some other substance, you have to crisscross that substance with the carbonate ion. And suppose if you have the carbonate on the reactant side, so it is definitely going to form the carbon dioxide, right? So this is again a neutralization reaction. Next we have, that is, we are reacting base with the ammonium salt. So suppose base again, suppose NaOH, ammonium salt, or this time I'll take a different the hydroxide. So let us take the calcium hydroxide, right, and we'll take ammonium salt, suppose NH4Cl is being taken. So now again it is a double decomposition reaction. As you know, two compounds are just going to react, right? So that means even it was double decomposition, even this was the double decomposition, and even this is double decomposition, right? Because see, whenever you are doing a reaction, you should be familiar that what kind of the basic reaction or a basic type it belongs to. So again I am just going to write the valency in order to make easy for you. So that means this positive is going to react with this negative and this is going to react with this, right? Or they get just dissociated to form their respective gases. So what we are going to get? We will get calcium chloride, this ammonium ion will break up into ammonia and it will lead to the formation of water as well. So that means whenever we react base with some of the ammonium salt, we get to have a gas with pungent smell, that is we get to have this ammonia gas. So that means whenever bases react with some of the ammonium salt, so definitely ammonia gas is evolved, and how you can identify that ammonia gas with the pungent smell. Right, so here is the reaction. Now we have the reaction of base with metal salt solution. See, we have done the reaction of base with acid, we have done the reaction of base with the non-metal oxide, the base with the ammonium salt. Now the fourth property is that how the base react with the metal salt solution. So what happens when the metal react with metal salt solution? Suppose I have CuSO4 as metal salt solution. You know that CuSO4 is copper sulfate, and I am just reacting it with base. Suppose I am reacting with NaOH. So what I am going to get, see, it is 2 positive, it is 2 negative, positive and negative. So this positive is just going to react with this negative, and this positive is going to react with this negative. So what you are going to get? You are going to get CuOH whole twice, and you are going to get Na2SO4. Now, if I talk about the type of this reaction, so what type of reaction is this? Again, it is a reaction between two compounds that in which they are mutually exchanging their ions. So obviously, it is a double decomposition reaction or a double displacement reaction. Both the terms means the same. So it is a double displacement reaction. You know that it leads to the that the double decomposition reaction are of two types. One, either they act as neutralization reaction, or they just lead to the formation of insoluble substance which is left behind, that is the precipitation reaction. This reaction, that means whenever the bases react with the metal salt solution, they are a double decomposition reaction, but which category? It is the precipitation reaction, because it leads to the formation of the insoluble substance which is left behind, that is the precipitate. And what this down arrow indicate? It indicates that it just left behind, that means it is a precipitate. And it has the color too. So what is the color of this? It is white in color. Right. Now we will be taking few more examples, because we get to get like when we react, we get different type of substances with different color of the precipitates. So just I want to formulate few examples more. So suppose I am reacting FeSO4 with NaOH now. Again, 2 positive valency, 2 negative, positive, negative, right. So now this positive is going to react with this negative. So obviously what is going to form? FeOH whole twice plus Na2SO4. So out of it, which is going to act as a precipitate? So in it, FeOH whole twice is going to act as precipitate. And what is the color to it? The color is dirty green. Right. And we'll formulate few more examples. Suppose I am reacting this time, suppose I say I am reacting with magnesium sulfate. Now again, how the reaction is going to take place? 2 positive, 2 negative, positive, negative. This positive is just going to react with this negative. So that means we are going to get magnesium hydroxide, and along with that again the same product, Na2SO4. Now what is the color of this magnesium hydroxide? This is the precipitate actually. What is the color? White. So likewise, we get the hydroxides of many metal as precipitate when we just react the base with the metal salt solution. So you need to remember the color. Like I took an example for Mg. For zinc or hydroxide, for lead hydroxide, all colors are going to be white. And for copper, it is again white, and for iron, it is dirty green. So you need to remember the colors as well. It is very important, right? So now, as you are familiar with the chemical properties, now you know that what do you get when you react base with acid? That is the neutralization reaction. What do you get when you react base with non-metal oxide? Again, non-metal oxides are acidic, that means again the neutralization reaction. And what happens when we react base with the ammonium salt? We get to have the gas with the pungent smell, that it leads to the evolution of ammonia. And when we just react the base with metal salt solution, we they actually do a kind of double displacement in which the precipitate is formed, and the precipitate which is formed of different colors, as we have seen for iron hydroxide it was dirty green, and for few it was white, and for few it is just going to be yellow. So you need to remember the colors also. So these are the chemical properties. Now see, we have studied so much about the bases, so we should know that where in the daily life we are just using this bases. So I have few bases for you, which for which I have just listed the use, so that you should be familiar with some of the commonly used bases in our daily life. So sodium hydroxide, that is NaOH, is used in manufacturing of the soap. So you need to remember that what is the use of sodium hydroxide? It is used in manufacturing of the soap, that is, it is used in sponification. Do you know what is sponification? Sponification is a process in which the soap is formed. And you know how the soap is formed? When vegetable oil just react with the NaOH, it just leads to the formation of the soap and glycerol. So that means NaOH is just going to react with vegetable oil. It is one of the reactant which is just going to react with vegetable oil or animal fat, and it will just get converted into the soap. So it is you can say beneficial in case of sponification. Second, we have calcium hydroxide. Calcium hydroxide is actually used in preparing a substance, that is the bleaching powder. And you know what is the bleaching powder? What is the formula for bleaching powder? It is CaOCl2, calcium oxychloride. So when this compound reacts with chlorine, it just react to form calcium oxychloride. And bleaching powder are actually very important. They are just used to you can say they are used in just act as a disinfectant also. It helps in cleaning the tanks and also bleaching, or they have a property to bleach the clothes as well. Again, calcium hydroxide are used in softening of hard water, right? As you know that hard water is not this thing fit for laundry purpose or something, because they contain certain ions in them which react with soap or detergent to produce scum, right? So what does calcium hydroxide do actually? Calcium hydroxide just help in softening that hard water by combining with the ions which are just present in that the hard water. Magnesium hydroxide act as an antacid. And what are antacid actually? Antacid are those substances which when we take just reduce the acidic effect in our body. That means they just reduce the acidity, right, which can, like if it is not reduced, and if acidity is more occurring in your body, it can lead to ulcer as well. So it act as a component for the antacid medicines. And the ALOH whole thrice, it just act as a foaming agent in for fire extinguisher. That means the foam which you get in fire extinguisher, that foam is produced due to ALOH whole thrice. NH4OH is something which is very important. You must be curious to know that what is that familiar use is that it is just used to remove the grease stains which you sometimes encounter in your daily life on your beautiful clothes, like. So those grease stains can be removed from your beautiful clothes by just use of NH4OH. So these are the few the uses of bases. The uses are not limited to this. It is a vast thing, but still I have just listed few for you just to make you familiar that how bases are playing an important role in our daily life.